In the tightly choreographed universe of television, there's an unwritten commandment: the set is sacred. It's a sealed-off realm where fiction is engineered and reality is kept politely at the door. So what unfolds when that line is crossed? Not by a fan dodging security or a paparazzo in camouflage, but by a star who seems determined to ignore every rule in the book. Last night, the industry didn't just get a headline, it got a moment that felt ripped from a clandestine romance. The center of gravity, the bold, radiant Sıla Turkoğlu. The location, the lockdown-protected set of Halil Ibrahim Ceyhan's newest project in Istanbul. Those quiet, stolen 15 minutes have ignited an inferno of speculation that has flooded timelines and sent insiders murmuring like it's a secret they're all pretending not to share. Welcome back to your front row seat to celebrity psychology, secrets behind the stars. Today, we're peeling back the layers on an encounter that tiptoes between professional misstep and breathtaking declaration. We'll unpack the clips, parse the whispers, and confront the rumor of a hidden token that some believe could mark the beginning of a power couple's next chapter. Before we cross that line into the hush of a closed set, ask yourself, are you just watching the show, or are you ready to understand how fame actually works? If you crave this level of narrative, make sure you're subscribed to Secrets Behind the Stars. And if you want to carry this story further with us, the join button is right below. Your support lets us stay late, watch closely, and bring you the story behind the story. It happened under the Istanbul sky, a city that speaks in confidences. The production Halil leads is notorious for its hardline security, essential in an era where a leak can get a season. And yet, somehow, Sıla mapped the maze. She didn't arrive with handlers or credentials, she moved like someone who knew the terrain and knew exactly who she was there to find. Crew members described the instant she appeared as a mix of shock and undeniable magnetism. One moment, the set was all cables, calls, and marks. The next, Sıla was there, stepping into restricted lanes with an assurance that made the alarms feel theoretical. Yes, she was somewhere she wasn't supposed to be. But the way she carried herself gave the moment the inevitability of a scene destiny had penned. Leaked footage, now cloned across every platform, shows an entrance that borders on cinematic. We don't see the glossy cover star, we see a woman with a purpose, her eyes scanning the motion and noise until they locate the person she came for. It's a jarring collision between the real and the make-believe, a candid heartbeat in a place built for illusion. And it's precisely that clash. Sıla's reality crashing into Halil's constructed world, that has enthralled millions. Time on set is measured by seconds, beats, and marks, but those 15 minutes? They've stretched into legend. Eyewitnesses and the leaked frames agree, the energy between them was unmistakable. Halil, halfway through a grueling schedule, wore his surprise openly, just for a second, before it gave way to a smile that didn't seem built for the camera. They tucked themselves into a quieter corner, oblivious to the whispered scramble among production heads. They shared soft laughter, leaned in close, and spoke with a familiarity that didn't need translation. This wasn't a polite stop-by. This felt like two people picking up a conversation only they understand. The internet's armchair analysts have paused, zoomed, and annotated everything. The angle of her shoulders, the way he took half a step closer to catch a softer word, the easy laugh that seemed to wrap them in a little shield. The result? A divided audience. For the romantics, it's a fearless gesture, one person taking a risk to reach the other. For the skeptics, it smells like strategy. But the texture of what's on tape, the sweetness, the surprise, the chemistry that doesn't need music, suggests something less scripted. It hints at a bond that's been developing in private, waiting for one slightly reckless night to make itself visible. And as if that weren't enough to keep the rumor engines roaring for weeks, another detail has surfaced. The whisper networks insist she didn't come empty-handed. Before slipping back into the night, Sıla supposedly gave Halil a gift. What was it? That's where the speculation splits. A token with personal meaning? An inside joke? A signpost toward something new? We don't have the object, and no one credible will say what it was. But we do have reports that the moment Halil received it was caught on camera, and that this specific clip has been quietly buried by the production. Why hide a simple reaction? Unless that one look said more than a press release ever could. Unless it showed a man hearing the answer he'd been waiting for. This missing slice has only sharpened the sense that what ties them together runs deeper than friendly affection. The aftershock was instant and visible. You'd expect a director's fury, a breach is a breach, and a distraction is a distraction. But the accounts point somewhere else entirely. After Sıla left, Halil is said to have taken a short breather. When he came back, there was no frazzle in his shoulders, just a lift in his voice. Crew sources claim he was buoyant enough to treat the entire team to tea, a small gesture that says plenty about what was happening inside. A quick conversation with the director reportedly settled any professional concerns, and filming resumed with a lead who seemed newly charged. This part matters. It tells us she doesn't throw him off course, she propels him. She's a jolt of color in the grayscale of long shooting days. And the echo carried past rap. Rumors say Halil confided to a trusted circle later, offering a line that now reverberates through the gossip mill. Today meant something special to me. For an actor who usually keeps his cards close, that's practically a proclamation. It reframes the drop-in not as a surprise cameo, but as a marker. To grasp the full picture, we looked backward. Our digital sleuths at Secrets Behind the Stars revisited the breadcrumb trail. There was that interview a few months ago where Sıla, poised but firm, said something that felt like a boundary and now reads like a hint. Even if there's someone in my life, I don't owe that story to anyone. At the time, it played as a standard privacy note. In the glow of this late-night arrival, it reads differently, like a vow to protect something still growing. And then there's Halil's recent retreat from online noise. A man once comfortably social turns suddenly quiet, curbing the playful posts, leaving private life uncaptioned. People change for many reasons. But sometimes silence shows up when the person finally paying attention is the one off camera. The theory writes itself. What we saw on that set might be the visible thread of a shift that started weeks ago. The production company finds itself in an awkward waltz. On paper, it's a security concern. If a star can find her way onto a closed set, plot secrets can slip, too. There was, reportedly, a brief burst of panic when she was first spotted, a sense that control had been punctured. Accusations of a breach surfaced, and for a heartbeat it looked like the story might become a scandal. But sets are also businesses, and business thrives on attention. The season is rolling out right now, and having the lead tethered to a headline-making romance is the kind of exposure money can't neatly buy. So here they are, balancing discipline with electricity, feigning sternness while likely noting the spike in interest. Did they leak the footage themselves to ride the wave? Or did a vigilant crew member hand it off for the buzz? Tell us what you believe in the comments, and if this kind of behind-the-curtain storytelling is your thing, hit subscribe and keep the conversation with Secrets Behind the Stars alive. Predictably, the fandom is split into fervent camps. One side is already christening ship names, treating the whispers, the smiles, and that quietly explosive line as proof that a new duo is stepping into the spotlight. The trending question is basically a chorus across feeds. Are we witnessing the rise of a new it couple? The other side, more cautious, argues that proximity breeds closeness and that what looks intimate might simply be the shorthand of two people who understand the same pressures. They point out that without a statement, it's all interpretive art. Still, even the skeptics stumble over the same riddle. Why risk the optics of a breach for a casual hello? Why move in the shadows? And what about the alleged gift? The evidence keeps leaning toward the romantic. Fuel met fire when a friend close to Sıla, speaking off-record, offered a single line that sprinted across the internet. Sıla is very happy right now. It's vague enough to deny, particular enough to confirm. It functions as a subtle stamp, an insider signal that her current glow is connected to what we all saw. There's another thread twisting through the story. Maybe this wasn't spontaneous at all. The backstage rumor is that the visit was the culmination of a text and call ballet that's been going on for days. Two people building a bridge in private and finally deciding to meet halfway. One version even paints a comedy of errors. Sıla planned to surprise Halil during a moment when cameras were supposed to be down, only to find that red lights were still quietly burning. If true, It makes them less like strategists and more like two people swept up in something new, making imperfect choices that feel perfect in the moment. It also syncs with chatter that they first reconnected through mutual friends and have been carefully navigating this closeness off the grid, shielding it until it can stand in the glare. So where are we now? In the pause before the next heartbeat. We're in the calm eye of a developing story. Statements are expected soon. Maybe confirmations, maybe careful reframings. We'll see. What's already certain is that the image of Sıla slipping into that set has burned itself into the audience's collective memory. The tale has everything: a place they weren't meant to be, a leak no one can look away from, a mysterious gift, and a current between two stars that no one needed subtitles to understand. In a world full of curated reveals, the most captivating moments are still the ones that feel unplanned. The gossip world won't digest those 15 minutes quickly. We'll be feeding on them, turning them over, watching for the next clue. Thank you for diving deep into this with us. You've been watching Secrets Behind the Stars. We're on this story, frame by frame, whisper by whisper. If you want to be the first to know where it lands, subscribe now. And if you want to lift the work we do, the extra hours, the close reads, the patient chasing, tap join and become part of the circle that makes it possible. Until next time, keep your attention on the edges of the spotlight, where the truths like this one tend to slip in and out of view.